One of the most important things you can do before making a move, whether it's renting or buying, is to know your real numbers and what is really happening in the market, what your options are. And that is what we help our clients do. So, true story, I just had clients who said, "Hey, Elizabeth, we're relocating to the Metroplex. We have been renting an apartment for 5 years and we have 4 boys and we need more space. So, we would like to rent a house and then we'll talk about buying in the future." I said, "Okay, sure." They were being very conservative with their lease number. We started looking at lease properties in the areas they were considering, and honestly, they were just not a fit. Not the right size, weird floor plan, poor condition. And so every time we'd get disappointed or they would be disappointed with the property, they'd increase their budget a little bit more. And we'd look at a few more and they'd increase their budget a little bit more. Well, finally, they got to a budget where I said, "Listen, let's put a pause on looking at the lease homes. Let me connect you with one of our trusted lenders in the Metroplex to see what is possible for buying. It might make more sense for you to buy now rather than later, given what we're seeing with the lease homes." So our lender ran their numbers, talked with them about the budget, the monthly budget that they wanted to stay within, what were they comfortable with, what does that going to look like on the purchase price, down payment, all that very particular information so they would know their numbers. What was the result? Well, the lender said, "Hey, great news. You're not only qualified to buy a home, but based on your numbers, here's the purchase price, here's the budget." And I looked at the number and I said, "Wow, okay, we got a lot of options in that price point for what you're looking for and in the area." So they talked it over some more. We discussed, what it would look like to buy a house versus lease a house now versus later, had all those kinds of discussions. And the client said, "All right, well, let's go look at some houses that are actually for sale." We not only found them one, but we found them several options that were in their budget, not only for purchase price, but their monthly budget. And in the end, we found them a home that is fabulous. It's almost twice the size of any lease home they were looking at, again, for the same monthly payment, in an area they wanted to be in, plenty of space for their family. And we got them a heck of a deal: new paint, new carpet, new roof, all kinds of wonderful things. For them, this made perfect sense, and they are going to be walking into a home with built-in equity from day one. Now, am I suggesting this is the right course of action for everybody? No, but the only way you can make the best informed decision is to know the numbers. And of course, you have to get those numbers from a trusted lender, especially one here in the Metroplex that knows about the tax rates here, knows about the insurance here. All those factor into giving you the most accurate information. Bottom line is, before you make a decision, knowing your numbers can change your outcome completely. So whether you're looking at moving in the next 3 months or the next 12 months, this is something that I highly encourage you to do today. Then we can work together on that timeline. When is that going to happen? What area of town are you looking at? And we're all about strategy and what makes the best sense for you. Whether it's renting or buying, at the end of the day, you want to be well informed and not make any assumptions. You need to know the facts. They need to be verifiable. They need to be trusted. And I'm more than happy to connect you with trusted lenders here in the Metroplex, and reach out if we can help you in making the strategy that works best for you and your family.